bumped it and I bumped it. I think it came undone, but I got it running. Yeah. Oh.
So nice.
Come here, there, honey.
Ooh. What? Oh, it's a ghost. It's blowing out of there. It's a ghost. That's so cool, though. Huh? Oh, it's done. Oh, now it's coming back out again.
Very accurate.
Oh, yeah. There's a lot of cool coming out the lower end here, huh? Bunch of heat coming out the top of that. Oh, that's the air conditioner. Steaming hot.
That's interesting. You guys don't realize why later. Alright, so I got the name Cameron, which could be a first or last name.
Oh, that's messed up.
Yeah. So you just never know. I get a lot of names whenever I'm around the old jail.
Oh, really?
So, and it's a lot of names that could be last or first names, like James, John's. You just never know what it's actually going to turn up. So you guys are actually standing in Lodge Alley, one of the oldest streets in Charleston. So I'm sure you can tell by the clay bricks that you guys hobbled over to get up here. So the building behind me is original, the building behind me is not. This is the Lodge Alley Inn, which has its own ghosts. However, none of it ties to history, so I don't like to chat about it because I haven't done an investigation to verify anything. The cool thing about us stopping here, first off, we just hiked 4 blocks, so it kind of gets everybody a break in this humidity, especially if you're not used to it from here. But also, I have the full roster of names of people that used to live on this street dating back to 1701. So, in the event we actually get some names on our spirit boxes, which we obviously have a couple of them running, like this one, and I just said all the streets in the city. So very, very interesting that it came into the city. But the people that used to live here, guys, like they were of the lower class. So they've done archaeological digs in between the bricks to not damage them. And they found old silverware, some of their tools. And these people were grocers, seamstresses, mariners. So you also have to remember that this street is 1 block away from the water now for us, but the water back then would have been much closer because the peninsula was actually, like, we built it out. It's man-made. So probably a good 3/4 to a block were man-made. So even when you guys go visit Pineapple Park, that wasn't there. That was not a thing. The wharfs would have been, like, we're actually going to end there. So you'll know exactly where it's at. It's only, I'm going to say, 3 blocks going south. So we'll end there, and I'll kind of give you guys a gist of where it's at. Oh, you guys just all arrived today. I keep forgetting that. That's so weird. But anyway, we're actually going to walk to the end of this alley. And again, this is just kind of a breather for us for a minute. We do sometimes need to breathe. But when we leave here, we're going to be making a right into a neighborhood. Tour guides in Charleston are not allowed to be tour guides in neighborhoods. So we're going to be 11 friends ghost hunting.
Oh, okay.
Everybody got that?
Got it.
Okay, so where's my picture taker? Who's got the digital camera?
Oh, like these selfies?
Okay. So when we all leave this alley, or if you want to even hang back and take some pictures, as long as there's no people in them, I capture weird orbs in different balances of light in this particular area, so we never know what we're actually going to capture. More towards the front, I've actually caught like a weird shadow, and we captured it on the thermal imaging camera, which was super cool. The first time we really had something other than an orb on the thermal imaging, so that was just last week. So again, we're going to hike through and go up to the next alley. Actually, yeah, we should probably just go to the next alley. All right, let's move on.
New question.
That's kind of cool, huh? Digging inside of these,
Yeah, I know, isn't
in between the bricks and finding.
Remind me of the cobblestone street we went to in the Stoddard.
I haven't been with
Take pictures?
What?
No, I mean Sarah. He was saying that this area.
What are you doing on that camera?
I don't know what I'm looking for, but I'll keep pointing it around.
Well, it's those darker blue spots.
Yeah.
They almost look black. One thing you have to remember about that device too is it will not see through glass.
Yeah, I know those will come back as real blue no matter what it is, right?
So what I've noticed is that if we actually have something behind the glass, it will change the temperature. So we'll see a temperature difference. So something will kind of like move across it and just kind of give us a little wave. But we won't actually see a full figure or a shadow or anything like that. So kind of keep that in mind.
All right.
Post is there. Within this finger.
No nada. Cold down there. You can feel it.
That's all nice. What about this one?
That one's cold. Ice cold.
Doesn't feel like. Why does the AC come off on this?
I don't know.
It doesn't make sense. You ever seen the track over AC?
We're going across. Yeah. Wasn't far away, was it? Like a hot spot right up there.
Really? But you're not looking for hot spots.
Yeah, you're looking for cold spot. That's probably a light.
You feel like maybe we're just doing a bunch of work for him.
Feels like it, huh?
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking too.
I was like, I think.
Well, even when I was reading about this thing, I thought, what are we gonna be doing?
Did Mom pick this one or did you?
Well, we wanted something to do in the evening too.
This is the cheapest one.
No, the other one wasn't too bad either. It was cheap, but it was only at 9 and 2 a.m. 9 a.m. and 2 p.m.
Alright, so guys, you are actually standing in Philadelphia Alley. This is one of the most peaceful, beautiful spots in Charleston, daytime or nighttime. It sounds just like this, even during the daytime. Nice and quiet. And we're only, what, a block and a half away from East Bay Street, that nice busy street we walk down. This is what it sounds like during the daytime. So, there's a group actually in front of the spot that I normally stop at. But actually, there's a reason why. Finally, somebody probably caught on to why I stopped there. This used to be called Duelers Alley. So, when I say duelers, like duels, take 20 paces, turn, and shoot. Okay? That's what I'm talking about. So, the gate that they're standing in front of, the loser of the duel would go through the gate over to St. Philip Cemetery, which is across the parking. There's like a field there, and then there's a cemetery on the other side of it. So that's exactly where they would go. Their plat would already be dug, and the loser would go over there.
Oh, they don't.
So, and then everybody would go celebrate the winner by having a pint. That's how things would go back then. So keep in mind, this is one of the legends of Charleston. This isn't something that I stumbled upon or found, but this is an often told tale. Now, duels, there's probably been hundreds, if not thousands, that have occurred here, okay? We only talk about one. that's because there's an actual ghost that's attached to it, but we actually have gadgets to prove whether or not it's true. So, every other ghost tour will make this a great big 15-minute thing. I'm going to give it to you in about 4 minutes, okay? Is that fair?
Yeah.
So if you go on another ghost tour, just expect a big dramatic scene. Dr. Joseph Brown Ladd was known as the Whistling Doctor. So if you Google the Whistling Doctor, this is the story you're going to get. He was going to get married to a young lady named Amanda. He's from New Jersey. Amanda just inherited a bunch of money from her parents. The lawyer said, no, you're not getting married. Go finish your studies and start your practice somewhere else. So he comes down here to Charleston. The coachman that was bringing him into town set him up to be robbed and killed. Somebody walking by said, this is not a good place for you to stay. Let's take you somewhere else. His name was Ralph Isaacs. Ralph likes to show himself on my spirit box.
Masked up?
So we'll kind of see. Yep, masked up. We're going to let them, yeah, everybody kind of get off to the side. Alright, so where was I? Ralph Isaacs. So Ralph takes him over to 59 Church Street, which is about a mile and a half from here. So, sorry. This isn't a script. I just have to remember the order of the story. There's two ladies living downstairs. He rented the room upstairs. And the doctor became very popular because he finished off his studies. He started his practice. He's a very jovial, happy guy. He became known as the Whistling Doctor because he whistled all the time. Him and Ralph used to go to see plays together. However, they were on different parts of the hierarchy. So Ralph was just a regular old Charlestonian. The doctor moved up in society. So they would sit in different seats. So they had to talk about the plays on the way home. One night, after seeing Richard III by Shakespeare, don't know why that's a thing in there, but it is, they got in an argument about one of the actresses. The doctor loved her, Ralph did not. It turned into an insult party on the doctor's fiance back home. Her name was Amanda. So the two get mad at each other, they go their separate ways. Ralph, being from Charleston, has ties to the paper. He writes in the paper what a disgrace the doctor is to Charleston. He's not from here, he takes some money, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, the doctor rebuttals with, let's come down to Dole's Alley and finish this. So they come down here, they take their 20 paces, the doctor points his gun in the air and shoots. He didn't want to kill his friend. He just wanted to make a point. However, Ralph takes 2 shots below the knees. The doctor drops, so he's not taken through the death gate. His friends pick him up and carry him to 59 Church Street, where he dies 10 days later. Now, I know, big finale of the story, right? But on your audio, this is where you're going to turn it up. We're going to walk through here. We're going to listen for whistles and or gunshots on any of the devices. Spirit boxes, you can listen to them. I will obviously try to stay in the middle or towards the back, so that way we don't get your feedback on the regular audio. I will also tell you at the very end of this alley, I already told you about the gate, which I'll point out, but the bricks here are going to get older as we move along. The bricks you're standing on were replaced in the 1990s. Okay, so at the end are original, that were sun-dried by slave children. They turned them every hour. Wow. You could see some of their fingerprints and one full handprint in those bricks. Remember what I told you about residential areas? This is a street for Charleston. The end of this is residential. So I will point it out to the person behind me and then so forth. You guys go down the train. You can't linger. We have to keep moving. If you want to capture a picture, by all means, it's there. But let's be quick about it. Okay? Is that fair? Mm-hmm. EMF will go off in the center of the alley. So there is a actor studio to the left that the actors work at Dock Street Theater, but they practice back here. So their equipment is always running, so don't get excited. Okay? I like to debunk things ahead of time. So let's listen for some whistles and let's see what we capture.
I think I was playing.
That was fun. probably just the opening. So if you guys want to, where's my picture taker? If you want to get pictures of the gate too for everybody. Guys, that steeple you see up there, that's St. Philip's Church. That's our tallest steeple in town.
What are we looking for?
Oh, the gate. We're looking for like a dark spot.
Oh, dark flower. Look at the top, that's going up into the sky. That's why.
So even if you lose the duel, you just go and take yourself to the graveyard.
No, he lost, but he didn't die. So that's why he didn't go down the gates to the graveyard. He went to wherever they can try and help him. But you know,
End up dying.
back then, 2 gunshots, you know, with the
Pretty deadly.
bacterial infection might kill you. Oh, really? There's a cold spot right there.
Oh.
What is that? I had a cold spot there. It's like right here. Maybe it's in that brick right there.
Probably has an explanation.
It's a residential area. Philadelphia Alley, maybe that's the story.
What happened?
There was a big flash.
Light flash above the footlight clearance.
It looked like somebody snapped a picture.
It really, like, we all looked back at you guys, like, did you just take a picture?
We thought we were going to win it, and we were walking out to go with that. That would make sense.
Because I mean, they weren't married yet, technically.
Oh, yeah.
You just stepped on the cockroach. Yeah, there's a bunch of cockroaches. That's not broken. No.
Maybe everything you take pictures somewhere and it's like
Oh, those really are gas, aren't they?
What are you saying?
I thought they were just like the little flappers.
That looks like finger marks.
This here?
Is it?
Right, it looks like.
Yeah, I got a bunch of this.
Are you whistling back there?
Yep.
Okay. No, we're not. No.
You don't whistle at night either?
No. Not now.
Not now.
She
Well,
has the same superstition. She always yells at me when I whistle.
Oh, you don't step on that either?
We don't whistle.
You,
That's all her.
I'm not, okay. ask your dad and ask his friends or don't call him graveyard.
Alright. Alright, so one last stop. We got another group from there, but they should stay on the other side. They'll be alright. So the building behind you guys, that's the Wagner building. It's like Wagner to us Americans. It is Wagner. So if you have to part of our hospital, that's the one that owns that building. Yeah, George Carrera. He has no idea what he's doing. He's a Silverstein kid. We also have the boll weevil inside, which is a bug that eats a coffee. His problem is done. He do everything else. The back of the building, in front of it, you can still see like the doors in the back here. Like those are obviously the same shape of the building that they had. I can't say that the original, but super cool building. Now, what he did to get out of debt, close to being out of debt, was he sold all of his cotton to the British. So at the front of this building is East Bay Street, and one block past that is where Pineapple Park is. That you guys have off. There's a pier down there, but that wasn't there. So this was pretty much a waterfront building. So you watched the ship come in. They unloaded the back of the ship with horse and buggy down to the ship. Somebody got too close to all the cotton with a pipe. The whole thing goes up in flames and everybody dies. George is watching this from the second-story window. The boat went up. So I'm sorry, I didn't clarify. That's my mistake. So George is watching all of this. He's already depressed. He already can't pay off the full amount of debt that he has, and now his dad's legacy is gone. So what's he do? He piles up all the furniture, puts a chair on the top, climbs it, swings a noose, and he hangs himself.
Oh, sweet. Okay.
So, really, I'm super surprised. So, it was the news kid the next morning coming down to sell his tapes on the corner that found the body. So, he's already gotten to by some crows, so they said that you can see shadows of a swinging corpse on certain nights. So, a couple things actually that we're going to be looking at. Now, this spot is either super hot or super not. Like it's usually live with activity or it's not. It's very, very simple. This particular building in the front is shaped. If you see that high point where it has like a peak there in the center, there's the same thing in the front of the building. Now, I'm not going to shoot the laser up there because that's where somebody lives. These are condos, right? People live there. But in the front, you can shoot that laser all you want. Where's the infrared thermometer? Alright, so you at the very top, sometimes I get a 30-degree difference from the very peak of that to the next stone down, which is the same type of stone, and it's only 5 feet below. No reason why, other than the fact that we've tested it on other buildings. We're not supposed to because people live there and they are businesses. But sometimes we can get a weird temperature gauge in the spot. So, also, one block normally has the opposite way out of Philadelphia. Yeah, we're not in the circle. Is actually a dog. Okay, should have had the spirit box, so spirit got some words. So, you heard a dog earlier, yes? And your spirit box? What kind of dog is it? Want to say
Yeah, it's the same top and bottom.
The other person that will haunt the place is the previous owner. Her name was Zoe St. Amant. Now, Zoe comes through for some odd reason when I'm looking into the Wagner building. And the reason I know it's her specifically is because on my spirit box, her name is spelled differently. It's Z-O-E, not Z-O-E-Y. And it's come through several times when I'm looking at this building. It's almost kind of like, you went the wrong way, come talk to us, kind of thing. And I'll actually, if I get her name, I'll ask her specific questions. What kind of business did you have? We'll either get food, restaurant, fork, something that goes along with a restaurant theme. Across the street from Coogan's Porch, there are claims of people seeing inside Coogan, things moving around, lights flickering when the business is closed. So, super cool place to go. But we're going to actually legally cross twice. We're going to go this way and then across, walk alongside of the building. And I'm going to turn up my spirit box. You'll hear me ask a few questions just to see who we have with us. EMF detector at the front is no good because we're going to be back on East Bay again, just like we run in the busy street. Spirit boxes get a little hard to hear at the very front, but we're going to play with that infrared and of course lots and lots of visual pictures down here because this is right here. So, I got the word trouble. That sounds good.
Yeah. Well, technically it is. I was gonna say it right when that comes up in the pretty van with the black windows. We're definitely doing this guy's work.
Yeah. He wants to collect data, but it takes a lot of manpower.
And every single
I see recording awards too.
Really? I think we're definitely doing this. I do, Dad. There's no way. It's not that nothing is real, but it's definitely a good way to get people to join, interact, and also get all his data that he needs.
Yeah. Oh, that's more air conditioning. Oh, air conditioning is air conditioning. It's so hot along the street right there, huh?
Yeah.
And then this
Out all
sidewalk
day.
is cool.
White stone is very, very tall. So the shadow will show up in the second story.
Oh God. Like through the windows?
Yep. Now shoot your laser all the way to the very tip.
Oh, it's like
Got it?
60.
I didn't even see the dot.
Yeah, it was up there.
69,
Was it? It was on the right side. I think he wants you to go to the peak in
Yeah,
the
go to
middle.
the very peak if you want to.
Oh, to the back.
Is that battery done?
No, I see it.
The second story.
So like you got little boiler?
Yep.
Yeah, it's like low 70, 71.
Let me see what you got.
Yeah, that.
Yeah, your battery's dying. That's the reason why it was hard. That's okay. I'll have to change it out. Not a big deal. So if you can get us a nice, good sweep of all of the windows, even if you want to try to cross the street and get a good sweep from across the street, that's cool. Where's the digital picture? So did you get us a couple of pictures? So I didn't get a whole lot. I heard like almost like a Frenchy type voice, so I assumed it was over. But I didn't get anything from that one. So I did get something where I can understand it. You'll hear me on your audio. Wind up 5 seconds. I think I heard this.
No.
Were you really hoping you would?
I looked hard. You guys want to run it?
See, this is our last stop. Which we'll go home later.
What about it?
This is, I think, the last stop.
Last stop.
You guys
No,
wanna
he
run
said
it?
we're going to that park.
You good?
Isn't that crazy how much heat this building sustains throughout
Yeah.
the day?
Whole bunch of blue windows when you look at it from the other side.
He's actually just a neighbor of the dog.
Oh, what's that?
He used to go visit all the time, and she got him.
Trees.
Oh.
Pretty new.
That'd be pretty cool though at night. I mean, if you were in total darkness, you could just look around and see any humans. Yeah. Anybody with any body heat.
Can you hold this for a second, Eddie? I just need to scratch my throat.
Or TripAdvisor is my best friend. So you guys can leave these reviews. Fantastic. Good job. You surprised me. We should get 2 or 3 different recordings. Yeah, I'm gonna have to change those batteries out. Yeah, I couldn't get it to shoot up that far. Normally you'd see that red dot at the very tip, clear as day. So, but are you guys all going back to your cars?
Yeah.
And there was another thermometer.
Oh, got it.
You got it? Yep. Okay. And then I will take the camera. Let's make sure we're still recording. Nice job.